Back in the day, if someone keyed your car, it was probably your ex or maybe someone from the HOA who's still pissed off that you got away with painting your mailbox the wrong shade of black. But today, a total stranger might key your car, not because you park like a jerk, but because they don't like the CEO of the company that made it. And here's the twist. When you drop that dash cam footage of the vandal doing the deed, they might actually lose their job. Not because it had anything to do with their work, but because their employer suddenly has to issue a press release explaining why they don't personally condone felony vandalism. Meanwhile, over in Hollywood, someone compares their political opponents to literal Nazis, and their show gets renewed and they get a new multi-picture deal. So yeah, today we're talking about how off-the-clock behavior can nuke your on-the-clock life, and why that fallout seems to hit some people maybe a little harder than others. Welcome to the Rational Workforce. Buckle up. Hey folks, Mark here. Thanks for stopping by. We're going to start today's show in a little parking lot at a hotel in New Hampshire. A Tesla is keyed. It's a relatively safe and secure spot. It's the middle of the day. There's not too many people around. But the Tesla has Sentry mode and the whole thing is caught on camera. Now, this video hits social media, the internet does its thing, and within hours, the man in the video is identified as a regional sales exec for a cybersecurity company called Armor Code. And soon after, his name disappears from the company website. Armor Code issues a statement, and there's no confirmation of a firing, but let's read between the lines. The brand moved pretty fast to distance itself. Now, we contrast that with another story of Dylan Brian Adams, a Minnesota state employee who is caught on video vandalizing not one, not two, but 6 Teslas, with damages totaling more than $20,000. But he keeps his government job. No official reprimand and no public statement. One man likely lost his career, and the other one kept his paycheck. Now, let's zoom out from the bucolic hills of New Hampshire and onto the red carpets of Hollywood, and it's now 2021. And Gina Carano is fired from The Mandalorian after sharing a post on Instagram. The post warned that societies don't descend into authoritarianism overnight. They unravel when neighbors start turning on neighbors. Now, in this post, she invoked Nazi-era Germany as a cautionary example. Was it clumsy? I don't know. I don't think so, but maybe. Was it intended to incite hate? There's no indication of that at all. And if we just take her words at face value, it's quite the opposite. But Disney labeled it abhorrent and fired her within 48 hours. Pedro Pascal, her co-star, had previously posted about U.S. immigration policy using imagery from Nazi concentration camps, and another one that directly compared Trump supporters to Confederates and Nazis. He got no public reprimand, and he did not lose his job. Same franchise, same employer, very different outcomes. And now, why the hell not? Let's throw Rachel Zegler in the mix. Now, Zegler, as you know, was cast at Disney's new Snow White, and she made waves with, well, a lot of things, but her public comments criticizing the original film and voicing support for Palestine and mocking various conservative figures, you name it, she did it. She wasn't fired. She actually got a PR coach. Her social media got filtered. Plus, they went and they added an extra security detail for her Israeli co-star Gal Gadot. So, 3 stars, 3 controversies, 3 wildly different responses. What made the difference? Well, some would say it's all about the content, but let's be honest. In circumstances like this, politics and identity matter. Carano's post leaned right, Pascal and Zegler leaned left. Carano's white, Pascal and Zegler are people of color. Now, we're not saying that explains everything, but in a corporate environment where optics rule, those dynamics have got to be part of the calculation. And that raises a bigger point for all employers. If companies enforce values inconsistently, they're not enforcing values at all. They're simply managing their brand. Now, like it or not, in today's always-on, cameras are everywhere world, if you're out in public, you are pretty much an extension of your employer's brand, whether you like it or not. So, what happens when your personal actions blow back on your employer? Well, companies generally have 3 options. Their first option is they can discipline you or terminate you. The pros of this are it's a clear stance and it protects their reputation. But on the downside, it presents the opportunity to raise concerns of overreach and legal exposure, and in some cases, inconsistency. Secondly, they can coach you or they can give you a warning. It preserves the talent and it shows grace, but it can appear soft or inconsistent, inviting even worse behavior down the road. Or they can just ignore it. I mean, sure, it avoids drama and it respects your privacy, but again, it may embolden others or damage your brand or internal trust. Now, if you layer this in, it becomes a whole lot more interesting. What if the behavior was illegal, but had no connection to the business, and there's public record of it? And this brings us back to our man from Armor Code. He was caught, we have to say allegedly, but we saw the video. He was caught allegedly keying a Tesla. It wasn't at a work event, he wasn't on company time, but the public saw the logo and the name on his LinkedIn profile, and the brand had a decision to make. He may not have broken company policy, but he embarrassed the company. And the question is that enough to warrant termination? Maybe, maybe not. But it's a gray zone where public sentiment and brand image and individual fairness all come together and collide. This isn't just about legality. It's about liability, and it's about the perception of values, and it's about risk. And if you're making decisions based solely on backlash management, then you're actually not really managing those people. You're just managing fear. Now, let's not pretend that these decisions play out evenly. Inside companies, double standards often emerge, even if you're not a movie star, right? The rainmakers, the guys that are crushing their quotas, in certain situations, they'll get coached. If you're just a lowly intern, you can do the same thing. You're going to get canned. Charismatic executives always get their second chances, sometimes third and fourth chances, while the quiet contributors will probably get walked out the door. Same actions, different outcomes. Why? I mean, in essence, power protects itself. Now, zoom out again. What message does that send to the broader workforce? I'll tell you what the read between the lines answer is. The brand's saying, don't rock the boat. Don't rock the boat, don't speak up, and definitely don't say anything controversial online. And if that's the case, that's not culture, that's compliance. And when your team is walking on eggshells and they're afraid of misstepping or anything that might potentially offend the brand and get them into trouble, well, you're not going to get creativity or innovation or authenticity. You're going to get silence and you're going to get disengagement. And we're seeing an awful lot of that in the workplace today. You actually don't need policies that scare people into behaving, but you do need standards that people can believe in. Now, look, we're not going to solve this entire issue in one episode, but here's what we can say. If your company wants to discipline off-the-clock behavior, you better be consistent and be transparent and be prepared to explain the why behind your behaviors to the employees, maybe their lawyers, and to the rest of the world. Because today's workforce, today's society in general, is way more tuned in than you may think. Don't pretend to be values driven if your values only show up when your personal, social, or political boundaries are crossed. Don't claim to value diversity if that diversity doesn't include supporting unpopular viewpoints. And don't ask for authenticity if your people are afraid to be themselves. If you give people a hall pass for keying a Tesla because you hate Elon Musk, but throw the book at a Trump supporter for posting a pro-life meme, you're definitely part of the problem. And more importantly, a potential source of legal and financial liability. I can't wait to see how Gina Carano's case against Disney pans out later this year. Now, the simple fact of the matter is that the game is up and workers can see right through the corporate doublespeak. The line between personal and professional has blurred maybe forever, and it's high time that employers got the memo. If you want better workplaces, you have to stop managing headlines and start managing with principle. You don't need perfect rules, but you do need honest leadership with clear expectations and the courage to apply them evenly. Otherwise, the next time someone keys a Tesla or posts the wrong opinion, heaven forbid, you won't just lose a worker. You lose the trust of everyone that's still watching. This has been The Rational Workforce. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you like what you saw, ring the bell, click subscribe, click like, do all the things to help us keep growing. We appreciate your support, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care.